All right, we are so excited to welcome Dr. Brad Schaefer from the hit TLC show, My Feet Are Killing Me.
I know, you got that right. So good foot health is important for so many reasons. You may think that, not only do they get us around where we need to go, but it also can be an indicator of other health problems.
That's right. So problems with our feet could mean something else is wrong somewhere else. So joint stiffness, that could mean arthritis. Tingling or numbness, that might mean actually a sign of diabetes. And swelling might indicate that there's a problem with your kidney or even heart disease.
All right, so Dr. Brad is here to tell us a little bit more about how to take care of our feet. So Brad, what are some of the most common foot problems you see when people come to your office?
Sure. So typically when someone comes in with a foot issue, a lot of times it's like bunion pain, hammer toes, heel pain, arch pain, things like that. A lot of people, like when they're very active, they have ankle sprains too. So we deal with the whole gamut.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do those insoles that you see, to help with like a plantar fasciitis and all that kind of stuff that you see out there in like a drugstore, do those things really help?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think insoles like Dr. Scholl's are absolutely fantastic. If you have a little bigger of an issue, sometimes you need a custom orthotic, and we do all that in our offices. We're podiatrists, foot and ankle specialists, so we treat everything from the toes all the way up to the knee.
Okay, well, I got a common problem that's going on with a friend of mine, not me.
Okay.
Smelly feet. Okay, how do you get rid of smelly feet? Is that possible?
Yeah, dude, listen, smelly feet is an issue. It was an issue for me when I was growing up. When you're a teenager, and all your hormones are popping off, sometimes your feet stink a little more than the average person. So there are things that you can do. There's things you can buy over the counter to just kind of block that. But we'll give that to you in our office. But yeah, it definitely takes some looking into. Sweatiness is a big deal. So we do Botox for the feet to block those.
Really?
No.
So see how much you sweat? Yeah. So you can get it for your face. You can get it for under your arms, and you can also get it for your feet. It hurts though.
I would think that would really hurt. But if you had like an aggressively smelly foot, that would work.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, so it blocks those glands. Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's talk a little bit. It must be an interesting specialty because there's such a stigma with feet.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Totally,
Sure.
I got it.
Very nice, very nice. But when we really think about our broader physical health, there are a lot of indicators in our feet that could tell us about a more serious problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Like with diabetes, just say, that can really cause a lot of issues with the feet, giving tingling, numbness, burning sensation. That's called neuropathy. When your feet swell sometimes, that can be a cardiovascular issue, and just other, signs of comorbidities in the body. The feet are really a telltale sign of that. So you really just want to get your feet checked, kind of like you go to the dentist, like every 6 months or so. You just get a quick checkup. You can get baseline x-rays, you can get your feet examined, and sometimes it can be a precursor for something that's going on internally, and then we cut it off at the pass. Super important.
Well, I know that some people want to treat these things at home. Are there things that they can do at home to just kind of maybe ease the pain if they're going through one of those issues?
Man, I call those people the bathroom surgeons of the world. Literally, they're in their tool chest, they're getting stuff out and really just like trying to help themselves out at home.
Yeah, they'll say, all I need is some Epsom salt.
Dude, everyone is about the Epsom salt.
Right.
Yeah. And look, that's cool too. I mean, all of that stuff helps. It's really when you kind of go and you try to do things that a doctor should do under a sterilized, supervised setting. But yeah, like everyone tries to help themselves out at home, and it's okay. I just don't advise some of the bigger stuff like clipping out an ingrown or different things like that. Make sure you get that taken care of in a sterile setting.
And now what about, how much your foot health corresponds to like your back and then your alignment and kind of all of those things are really so interconnected?
Sure. So this is a big passion of mine because I'm an ex-athlete. I was a baseball player in college, and I really think everything is interconnected. So really our feet are our body's natural stabilizer and our shock absorbers. So if we're protected down there with proper shoes, proper insoles, and really get us stabilized from the base, it really helps all the way up, from the ankles to knees to hips to lower back. And I have back issues too, but when I started wearing inserts in the shoes and really taking time to understand why these things were happening, it's our biomechanics.
Right.
Super, super important.
Well, there's some common things that people are doing every day that are wrong that they shouldn't do, like wearing high heels that are too high, or running, or running
or
wrong.
Or flip-flops,
like
right?
Yeah.
I think flip-flops are not supposed to be fantastic
where, so I don't dog anyone in moderation. You know what I mean? So like if you're walking around the office or whatever, or you're going to an event, you need to wear heels, fine, awesome, that's fantastic. If you're wearing sandals, like who's not going to wear sandals to a beach? Fine, like I get all that. But everything in moderation. Don't be trekking through sandals in New York City like every single day. Don't wear heels, you know, down Fifth Avenue every single day when you're walking 20 blocks. Like try to troubleshoot it. Bring a pair of shoes, then wear your heels in the office. Things like that. But it's all okay in moderation.
Yeah, in moderation.
Now, are there things that we should be doing? I don't know if this is true. I've just heard this, that you're like supposed to try to really separate your toes. Is this fake or
Oh, they have those shoes, different toe
they have that.
shoes.
Oh, they have those like yogi toe things, and you're supposed to like separate your toes. Does it really work?
Right. So this was a rage a little bit ago.
Yeah.
There's definitely, you know, thought behind it, but at the end of the day, if it gives you relief for that short term, it's fine.
Okay.
You know, but it's not going to fix or correct anything. It's going to give you temporary relief for an issue, maybe like a bunion or hammer toes. It's going to help separate and relax, kind of like Epsom soaks and stuff. It helps for that time. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you need to get it permanently taken care of.
Well, how does someone know when is that time to go to a doctor, when it's serious enough, like, okay, stop, I need help?
Yeah, no, and that's a really good question. So just take a bunion, for example, right? Back in the day, bunions used to be corrected in kind of like a two-dimensional plane and just rotated, and it was super painful, long recovery, and it was like fixated with like a couple screws. When you go to doctors now, the trajectory of like surgery and the school of thought, it's just changed so much. So you're able to look at something, get it fixed permanently for one time, so you don't go through multiple surgeries down the road. So we're fixing things in now a three-dimensional plane versus a two-dimensional plane. So it's really cool stuff out there now.
And now what stands out to you from the show? Like what case just moved you or, you know, you felt like was just so incredible?
There were a few. I'll honestly say one that almost brought tears to my eyes. There was a graphic novelist, and she had 6 toes. And if you think about it, like having 6 toes, that will affect your life in a variety of different ways. With partners, just socially, and really just the stigma of feeling like you're deformed.
Right.
And she was with her husband at the time too. So like when he saw the result, he brought tears to his eyes, brought tears to her eyes, and it was just a moving situation. So knowing that you affected someone physically, helped them emotionally as well, that's the game changer, is the emotional change. So that was a really cool one too.
You're changing lives one foot at a time.
Oh man, for sure. I'm hoping, I'm trying, bro.
All right, well, Dr. Brad Schaefer, thank you so much. From the hit TLC show, My Feet Are Killing Me.